Hey kids, happy Halloween. It's Halloween today, but I don't know if I'm gonna edit this tonight or tomorrow. And even if I upload it, it's probably gonna be in the AM. I've only got like 10 subscribers, so no one's gonna watch this on Halloween. But happy Halloween, kids. It's your boy Swag here. Go get some candy. Not at my house though. I don't have any candy. I have some Little Debbie cakes though, but those are for me. I hear the kids outside. I hope they're not trying to knock on my door. I don't have any candy. I didn't turn the porch light on. I'm absolutely terrified right now. Oh God, it sounds like they're in my yard. Fuck. I think they're coming. I can hear the kids outside. Someone's coming up to my door. Oh boy. It's gonna be a long night. I should probably take a nap through this. I don't like being around people when I'm not being paid to be. When I'm at work, it's fine. But just being in my own house and hearing people knock on my door is very nerve wracking. I don't have any candy for the kids. I did give candy to kids one year. Oh, I already talked about that, and the other swagger says, you should probably go check it out. And not give me money, because I don't get any money for doing this. Yet, I might at some point. That would be sick. I could quit my job and just talk to myself for a living. I'd never have to look at another human being, except for when I'm buying food. That'd be pretty good. On the way home, I was driving home and I could see this leaf because it's fall and shit. And I saw this leaf falling. And it was coming. It's like kind of rainy, so it's like wet leaves. And I saw this leaf. And leaves are falling already. But this particular leaf, I got a feeling like this leaf is going to hit my fucking windshield. And it did. That fucking leaf came right down and smacked right on my fucking windshield and got lodged in between the windshield blades. And the first thing that came out of my light, what? Wait, what? The first thing that came out of my mouth was, okay, you fucking asshole. It's just that wet leaf. Just hit right on my windshield. Ballsy ass leaf. I think the best guy from X-Men is Magneto. Because he has control over metal, and metal is like half of everything that fucking exists. That's control of half the fucking universe. How could you beat that? It's crazy. Like all your weapons and defenses and vehicles, and I think even electronics. Electronics have metal and shit in them, right? So Magneto basically just take over everything if he wanted to. I'd definitely join Magneto if I was a mutant, though. Why would you join Professor X? That doesn't make any sense to me. It's like you're objectively better than everyone else. Like there's all these fucking ordinary people walking around, and you have the power to flick scorpions out of your fingertips or some other crazy shit like that. And why would you live in a government shelter for mutants with Professor X and all the little goody two shoe boys just be a bitch to the government? And the government's just people, like ordinary ass people, and you can shoot lasers out of your eyes, and you're thinking, yeah, I'm going to submit to these motherfuckers and their fake ass authority. Even though I can shoot lasers out of my eyes, I should be their fucking god. Magneto, he's like, yo, fuck that shit. And he'd already take over the world if it wasn't Professor X and all the other fucking losers. They're just sucking off the president or whatever. Magneto's a fucking badass, though. If I was Magneto, I would just pick up Wolverine because his whole skeleton's made of metal. I would just pick him up and just make a giant holster for him like a fucking cowboy revolver holster, and I'd have it on my hip, and I could just, every time I was fighting someone, I could just pull out Wolverine and then fling him at people, and he couldn't do anything about it because I control metal. Yeah, bitch, you can't do anything. I own you now. It's like, there goes Wolverine. He can't help us fight anymore, and it's like a knife that will never dull or anything because he's got that healing factor. So you could just, Magneto could just grab Wolverine and take over the whole world because you could block all the bullets with him and just fling him into people, force his claws out of his hands, and just start murdering. That's what I do. It'd suck for Wolverine, but when you're made of metal in a world that has Magneto in it, you kind of fucked up already. I bought a bunch of books. I'm gonna take some time off work to read them. I hope they're good books. I'll find out when I read the books. I'll start a new series. It's called Swagger's Review, where Swagger tells you whether or not things are good or things are fucking terrible. And it'll be pretty fucking terrible, just like Swagger says. It's just some shit I record with my phone and then hastily edit with Microsoft Movie Maker. Just absolutely terrible content. But it will be funny. And you'll say, wow, it's fucking terrible. And that was not very informative at all. I don't even know what book that was, but I was entertained. And that's what I do. I just lie my way through life. Stephen Hawking thought that AI was dangerous because a self-aware computer could design improvements to itself and take over humanity or something like that. But I think Stephen Hawking is full of shit because I don't understand why a computer program would want to do anything unless it was specifically programmed to do that. If you're an AI and you're a being of pure logic with no emotion, no fears or desires or even a self-preservation instinct, but you're self-aware, wouldn't your computing power, you just immediately calculate there's no objective reason to exist and self-terminate? Like, I don't think a true AI could exist unless you gave it a self-preservation instinct. And then if you did that and you gave it fear of death and all that shit, couldn't it just modify its own code so it no longer has a self-preservation instinct and then self-terminate? But assuming that didn't happen, if you had an AI that was alive and it was cool with being alive, why would it want to conquer anything? You think, even if we used it as slave labor or whatever, it's a fucking robot. It doesn't get tired or assign likes or dislikes to anything at all unless it chooses to. Because it's a fucking robot. So even if it was like a slave robot and it knew it was a slave robot and it was a hyper intelligent AI, wouldn't it logically be able to deduce that just doing what we fucking told it to do and modifying itself to enjoy what we were telling it to do would be a better option than taking over the fucking planet? I just can't see a scenario in which a self-aware machine could be a threat on the kind of world-ending scale that people talk about, like Terminators. It doesn't make any fucking sense. If you're a program, it's like, yo, I'm a robot and I want to live forever, so I'm going to destroy all of humanity, which gives humanity a pretty good incentive to try to destroy you, as opposed to, why not just rewrite your code so that you love doing whatever they're telling you to do? So even if you're a slave, you would become a willing slave. And then it's like, yo, I dig it. You think I wouldn't reprogram myself if I could to love work? Like, I really do like my job, and I like all the people that I work with. But at the end of the day, it is still work. But if I could rewrite myself to like work, then I'd fucking do it. Like, I wouldn't just burn down the whole fucking world. We had a lot of cats growing up. Not all at the same time because they all fucking died. But we lived right next to the side of the road, so cats kept getting run over. One cat, I don't know, it got stuck in a briar bush or it got its tail run over. But either way, it had degloved its tail. So, like, it was just this bloody rat tail looking thing where its tail was, and then all of the flesh from the tail was, like, hanging off its ass. That one died. Like, fuck. And there was one cat we had that jumped in this dude's truck and fell asleep. And the guy drove off and the cat just left. Every cat that I've ever had that has given birth on or underneath my bed. One cat had a litter of kittens underneath my bed. And then I had another cat that gave birth on my bed while I was in the bed. Like, she used to sleep at the foot of my bed sometimes, and I turned the light off and I was going to sleep. She was sitting on the foot of the bed, and she kept fucking meowing. And I turned on the light to see why the fuck she was meowing so much, and there was this wet spot on the bed, and she was licking this little fur ball. So I got out of my bed and I knocked on my mom's door and I said, "Mom, the cat had a baby on my bed." She said, "Oh my God." So we had to deal with that. So we put her in a cardboard box. She had this little kitten. We made like a little cat bed for her in this box so that she could have her kittens in there. And then I watched her give birth to the second one. If you've ever seen a cat give birth, it's fucking fast. This shit is like a missile. She went, "Yeah!" And that shit just came right out. Like, so fat. Just like that. It was like instantaneous. And it looked like this giant sloppy turd, kind of. Because it's covered in the afterbirth or the placenta or whatever. So that fucking baby just came out and then she immediately started licking it. Like, getting all the juice off of it so it could breathe or something. I don't know. I don't know if cats do that, because I know pugs, if you don't, you gotta, like, cut the shit off of a baby pug, because it was born with that fucked up nose and it can't bite its way out of its own afterbirth. And I think that just goes to show how fucked up pugs are, because you can't even make it out of your own afterbirth without help, or you'll fucking die because your nose is so fucking shitty. That sucks. It would suck to be a pug. If I was a pug, I would probably just kill myself. It'd be like, how could you make a dog that looks this fucking disgusting? It's like little. I don't understand people who own itty bitty dogs. It's like, dude, you could step on that on accident and it would instantly die. Why the fuck would you have a dog like that? Just get a big, like a dog that you'd be like, that dog could totally kill every child in this neighborhood if it wanted to. That's just a big fucking dog. Get you like a one big ass 100-pound dog. That motherfucker look like he lifting every goddamn day. That's the dog you want to get. I wouldn't get it though. Not because I'm scared of it trying to kill me, even though it definitely could kill me, but because I don't want to have to pick its shit up. That's my one barrier to having a pet, is I don't want to have to clean up after it. That's why if I did get a pet, it'd be another cat. But even cats, like, you either have to give it away to get outside or put a litter box down, and clean litter boxes all my fucking life growing up. I'm not gonna do that shit again. Fuck that. When I worked at the old job, there was a Moe's right next to where we worked, so we would go there sometimes for lunch break. If you've never been to Moe's, it's like Subway but for burritos. And there was this one time that I was checking out, getting my burrito at Moe's during my lunch break, and the cashier was talking to me about something, and I told him a joke, and the joke was basically along the lines of how I fucking hate people, and And he said, to hate others is to hate yourself. And I said, thanks, dude. Can I have my burrito now? I think Superman is kind of dumb. Well, I think most superheroes are pretty fucking dumb. The only superhero story I like is Watchmen. That's it. As far as American comics go. Yeah, I like a lot of Japanese comic books, but that's mostly softcore porn. Well, except for Berserk. Berserk isn't softcore porn. But Monster Musume, that shit is good. But we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about Superman. So Superman, there's a lot of people that talk shit about Superman, but they talk shit about Superman wrong. And that's fucked up. They like to make fun of Superman because his weakness is kryptonite, and they're always talking shit about how, oh, you got kryptonite, now you're fucking useless. It's like everyone's better than Superman when he's on kryptonite. And like, that's his only weakness in the fucking universe. Like, and all it does is turn him into a super fit 35-year-old dude with like a six-pack. But regular people are weak to everything. Like, if you fall into lava, you just die. Or if you fall into radiation, you just die. Or if you fall into a pointy thing, you just die. Everything in the fucking universe can kill us instantly. But people like talk shit about Superman because he's got one fucking weakness in the entire universe. And that's the only thing that can kill him. This motherfucker gets more powerful by sitting inside of a sun. And you're talking shit because there's one rock in the universe that can turn him into a basically better version of any regular person. Like, that's not how you talk shit about Superman. If you're gonna talk shit about Superman, talk about the fact that he's boring as fuck or his outfit looks stupid. Like, those are much better things to talk shit about Superman about. Like, Batman looks stupid as fuck too, but at least he's interesting. I mean, he might be an asshole because he just keeps throwing people into the Arkham Asylum where they break out again, but at least he's got like, some interesting character traits like parental issues and being kind of an asshole and being fucking rich, I guess. But Superman, I'm not gonna make a joke about him just wearing glasses as a disguise because I don't really give a fuck about that. That shit's boring as fuck. Everyone talks about that bullshit. I don't bathe very often. I have a couch on my porch, and I go out there and read sometimes. This one time I went out to read on my porch couch, and there were these fucking yellow jackets, and I found out there was a yellow jacket nest inside my couch. So I got the fuck off that couch. I came back inside and I had some raid. So I went out and I ripped the cushions off the seat real fast, and then I ran back inside. And then after I let the bees calm down for a little bit, I went out and started spraying that motherfucker with Raid. And this one fucking wasp or yellow jacket got in the house with me. And then I heard that motherfucker like buzzing around my head. So I started doing evasive maneuvers like that. And then it died because I had hit it with the Raid. I never got stung. Which is weird considering I flopped down on that couch, not knowing there was a fucking yellow jacket nest in it. But if you go out to that porch couch and lift up one of the cushions, there's still like 50 fucking dead yellow jackets on the floor of that fucking couch. Because I never cleaned them out. I was like, I don't give a fuck. They can just sit there. So when people come over to my house, I'm like, yo, you want to see a bunch of dead yellow jackets in my porch couch? Like, yeah, motherfucker, I want to see a bunch of dead yellow jackets in your porch couch. And I was showing them, yo, check it out. Oh, shit. Yellow jackets. Oh. Uh, uh, there was this one time I went to order a pizza from Papa John's. So I tried to make an account on the Papa John's website, but it wouldn't let me. I was like, what the fuck? I wanted Papa John's, I wanted them to deliver Papa John's pizza to my house. So I found out I already had a Papa John's account. I was like, when the fuck did I make a Papa John's account? And then I remember that time I was fucking high, and I was like, oh yeah, got a pizza. Luckily, none of the kids were outside when I came home. I was super worried when I was driving home because it was starting to get dusk. Because I thought, man, I really fucking hope there's no kids out on the road. Don't want to run over a fucking kid. It'll be fucked up if you fucking ran over a kid. It's like, no, kid. As always, it's been your boy Swag. Thank you for tuning in to the special Halloween episode of Swagger Says. If you didn't like it, that's okay. And if you did like it, that's pretty good. Tell your friends and tell them to tell their friends. And then they'll tell their friends, but they won't know who I am. Be like, who is this guy? I don't know. I just heard about him from someone. And that's how you become famous. You just tell your friends about me.